So, hey everyone. All right. Well, I am finally heading to New York, it looks like, because after two unsuccessful attempts to get down there, up there, I should say, I am finally getting on a plane tomorrow morning to visit mom. Now, I'm kind of a little nervous. I mean, my mom knows that I transitioned, that I changed my legal name, but this is the first time that I've actually been up there since I've done it. So I'm not sure exactly how it's going to go. I mean, part of me kind of wishes that my partner was coming with me, but I don't know. I mean, I can't say that I blame him for not wanting to make the trip, but we'll see. I mean, I don't expect anything negative really, but it might take some adjustment. I just don't know. But I mean, I want to go back for a few reasons because obviously I haven't seen my mom or anyone since the pandemic, which is, definitely not ideal. Like, I had gone back the Christmas of 19, and typically I would have gone back at least once a year following that. But the problem was, of course, the pandemic. In 2020, it didn't seem safe to get on a plane, and in 2021, I was looking for a job, so I wasn't sure if I should leave for a few days. I just was constantly thinking that it's like, what if the few days I'm gone is the day they want me to interview or something, and maybe they would have delayed it or something. It turned out to be a non-issue anyway, but such is the case. Then 2022, when I would have gone back next, traditionally I went back during the Christmas break, which they didn't do this year because I guess they did away with it at the place that I work. Because y'all might remember that I used to have that built-in winter vacation from Christmas to New Year's. And because we don't have that anymore, I was free on the one hand to pretty much go visit mom at any point in the year that I felt like and or it was convenient. So, I decided that I was going to go in mid-January because it was a little close to Christmas, the snow might still be there, and it was going to be nice enough that it would be after Christmas, but hopefully not in a big not a huge issue with as far as things like holiday travel cancellations and delays, because it seems to me like the last several years things kind of collapse in the travel industry around the holidays, particularly just because they have they're still rebuilding their staff, and there's, it's the general holiday craziness. So it kind of seems like the holidays is just a tricky time to travel, more so than your usual standard holiday complications. So I thought, hey, I'll go in mid-January. Then I got a mild sore throat, and I got concerned about traveling with it just because it's like, what if I go and it gets worse? I don't want to be traveling when I'm feeling sick. So we canceled and then rescheduled for April or so, I think. And then my mom came back from a dog show and had COVID, so then we canceled again. So this is the third time, but it looks like everything's finally lined up properly. So, we'll go back this time, and then we will see how things go from there. Um, I mean, the plus side, I guess, is that, due to not having that built-in Christmas break, is that now it provides me a little bit more flexibility. I can go back at like different times of year and just kind of, do whatever. And then also at some point, I might like to visit some friends, and we'll see how all that goes. But plans are to meet up with Emily for a traditional Friendlies lunch, and I probably will be bringing my laptop, and I've uploaded the new Microsoft Office to it and transferred my most recent chapter that I'm working on, and most of the notes that I think I'll need for the chapter that I'm working on. Um, and if need be, I can always start something small that I can work on in the meantime, or I could just take a few days off. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but traditionally I don't do very well keeping productivity up when I'm traveling, but also I think that I'm in a better headspace these days so that it really doesn't bother me as much as it used to. It's just a matter of, working on it little by little rather than keeping up to a certain quota or rate or anything of that nature. And that seems to work pretty well. So, I'll take it with me. If I feel like working on it, I'll work on it. If I don't, then I don't. And I will resume working on the chapter when I get back and figure out a game plan from there, because at least for now anyway, it's kind of hard to figure out exactly what's going on until I get back from New York, which will be in about a week. So hopefully then I'll have some footage from New York and some things to talk about and some pictures to share and all that good stuff. But long story short, I will be going to New York to visit mom and pretty much just spend time with the family for a few days, and like I said, try and get some work done in the evenings, and then just see how things go, and just hopefully have a good time. Um, when I go back, I have to do some prep work for some other trips that we're doing. There's the next place we're going is Star Trek Las Vegas in the beginning of August, and then I have a convention I think in October as far as a furry con, and I still need to figure out exactly if I'm going to try and do the TFF thing next year, or what the plan is as far as all that goes. But let's see. I mean, I suppose that's the big news. In writing news, I am working on Winterfall's sequel, which so far I think is going well. It's a little bit. I'm into a little bit of Act Two that I'm working on right now, and I'm kind of working on it until I either um, finish it or until I change to something else. I mean, right now I'm doing pretty well with sticking to a single project until it's done. There's a couple of other things that I've started little bits of that I kind of want to work on at some point, but also at that same token, I'm kind of like starting over from scratch with a lot of things. So I'm basing a lot of, I'm using this opportunity to rebuild a lot of my notes into a coherent outline that fits a criteria that I know I can do. So this, of course, means that it's going to take a while, because I don't like to try and work on something until it makes my brain hurt. I like to, work on it when the ideas are there, and sometimes it's just a little bit at a time. But usually it's enough to keep ahead of where I am actually writing, so that even if I'm writing a story as I'm outlining, I can usually keep ahead of where I actually am, so that it's always work that's being productive. Let's see. But I mean, I'm working on that Winterfell 2, which so far I think is going pretty well, and I think uh I've managed to break down the characters pretty well so far. So we'll see how that's going. I'm about to introduce, I guess, the next not exactly complication, but the next plot point, so to speak. And I'll work on this chapter a little bit and see how far I get. In video news, it's probably going to be a light day today. I'm going to do this vlog, and I'm going to maybe try and finish editing at least one book review and get that scheduled, and maybe get caught up to date. And that might be it today, just because I have to. I pretty much have to go to bed as soon as we're done with dinner and relaxing tonight, because I have to get up early to make it to my plane on time. And there's still a little bit of like last minute packing that I have to do and a few other things. And let's see. So, but yeah, suffice it to say that the video stuff is probably going to be relatively light today. Schedule and production will probably resume when I come back. I still have a couple more sections of the act breakdowns that I want to work on, and I'm still working on doing some free book reviews. I'm still reading. Well, I guess I'll get to that in a second. But anyway, long story short, again, light day. Just a vlog and maybe a video editing and getting it scheduled and seeing where that takes me. As far as books I am reading, I am still working on the second novella in the complete Red Vixen adventures, which so far it's going pretty well. As Royce probably can tell you, I'm really enjoying the book so far. I'm enjoying the characters, and it's kind of it's a good piece so far. I'm really liking the second one. I'm kind of curious where it's going to go. I know he told me that there's some complicated stuff when I get to novella number 4, but I doubt I'll get that far by the time I come back from New York. I'm probably going to finish Rafts and maybe start another book that I'm reading while I'm out there. But again, we'll see how much time I have, how much motivation I have, and how much reading I get done. But so far, it's going well. And like I said, I'm really enjoying Red Vixen Adventures. It's really fun, and I have so far I have pretty much mostly good things to say about it. Let's see. There's Rafts, which I'm working on. I am, I think, 3 or 4 chapters from the end. And for Utunu's first large work, I have to say that I'm really enjoying it. That it impresses me in quite a couple of areas. So I think my ultimate review will be fairly complimentary. I mean, I don't really think that I've found any dings, so to speak, anything to ding him on. But it's really good. It's not it's not the kind of thing that I would write because again, it's not like my area of expertise. But it's a good story. It's well written. The characters are nice, and given that the cast is so small, pretty much only 2 or 3 characters for the majority of the book, it's really well done. It's like you don't feel, you feel the intimacy of the story, not the isolation, unless of course that's what you're, supposed to feel during certain chapters. But I think you know what I mean. Just sometimes without enough characters, I feel like it's not populated enough. But you don't definitely run across that with here. It's like 2 characters on a deserted island essentially, and it really works well. It's been an enjoyable adventure, kind of having 2 characters get to know each other without any of the other stuff that filters into a full complete world. It's like they're just having time to get to know each other, which I will also give significant credit to Tunu for making it flow and for making it interesting and making it compelling, because that's not easy. And it's tricky when you don't have a lot of the usual options for keeping a story moving. It's like if you just got these 2 characters and a desert island, that's pretty much as basic as it gets. And I will say that, again, that's really tough because, and I've said this before, and perhaps not in a video, but I've said it before in person, and I think it's like the sitcom setup. It's like the sitcom setup when you have 5 characters, more or less like 2 or 3 sets, and that's pretty much all you have. And then, you run this sitcom through 6 seasons, 7 seasons of stories, however many you have, and you all basically have these same elements. Now, sometimes they'll go on vacation or travel somewhere or something, and you'll have a different set piece. But the basic backdrop, the basic sitcom starter kit is like 5 or 6 characters and 2 or 3 sets. And that's really it. And making a show funny, interesting, compelling for as long as you do with just that is a writing skill that is, I think, underappreciated. And so I would like to give huge credit to Tunu for being able to do that well. I also, have to say, at least at this point, that I like the characters, that Shima kind of amuses me. He's a fun character to spend time with, and that I've really enjoyed his sense of humor. And, kind of sometimes it's just like the kind of character that you like spending time with, but at the same time, they kind of drive you crazy, but in a good way. So it's all interesting stuff. But that's about it, I guess, for now, because most of the other things I would discuss, I kind of already talked about. But other than lunch with Emily, I don't really have any particular plans. But I guess that will be it, and I will be back probably before this even airs. And then in a couple of weeks, I will have an after-action report to tell you guys about how the trip went and what we did and all that kind of fun stuff. So there will be that to look forward to. So I will catch you all later.
If you like werewolves, check out my book Blue Moon, available in paperback and ebook on Amazon.
Thanks for watching, and if you liked it, click the subscribe button and leave a comment below. You can also find me on Twitter and a few other places on the web, or support me via Patreon or Ko-fi. Zebra hugs!